Hello all. I welcome you today for a webinar on the topic of accelerate your program and management leadership in INSEAD, where we'll be taking you all towards the details of the course and how it is going to be beneficial for your long-term career aspirations. So we are here today with two esteemed speakers, Mr. Amitava Chattopadhyay, who is Marketing Area Chair at INSEAD, and Mr. Shivam Bavamala, Senior Faculty at HeroWire. So before we start, I'll just like to have a quick poll about the audience, requesting you all to please fill the same. Thank you all. So I'd like to start the session with introducing Mr. Amitava Chattopadhyay. Mr. Amitava is an expert on brand strategy, brand purpose, digital transformation, social innovation. He has been involved with top-notch academic institutions like McGill University, University of British Columbia, and is now at INSEAD, where he is Galaxy Smithline Chaired Professor of Marketing and Communication. Without taking much of his time, I'd like to ask Amitava to please start and welcoming him to the session.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody in India. I'm speaking to you from Singapore, so it's a little after 2:30 in the afternoon here. I'm normally based in France, but currently teaching on our Singapore campus, and more about that in a few moments. I'm here to really talk about the certificate program in strategic management and business essentials. And what I'd like to do in the next 35 minutes is to give you a quick overview of the program content structure and the pedagogy that we use, a very brief word on post-program support, then the highlights of the program taught by faculty from INSEAD, and a little bit more about INSEAD, because you probably don't know much about us. So let me go ahead. All right. So talking about program content structure and pedagogy. So this is a 6-month program, and in that 6 months there'll be 48 hours of live teaching, live online teaching. 24 hours of that will be delivered by HeroWire, and 24 hours by INSEAD. And then there are hands-on live workshops and masterclasses of 50+ hours that will be delivered. From your side, you'll have to not only participate in these things, but also 1 to 2 hours of self-paced learning, and so you'll be doing somewhere between 5 to 8 hours altogether on a weekly basis. And we estimate that the total amount of time that you will need to invest in this program will be about 130 hours, or some 6 hours a week during the 26 weeks that over which this program is going to be spread. Right. So what do we cover? So we're going to cover the pillars of business, which are, for instance, finance, marketing, operations, and supply chain and strategy. The second set of things we'll cover is customer-led decision-making and innovation to grow your business. Here, we are going to look into topics like design thinking, entrepreneurial thinking, and blue ocean strategy. And these 2 blocks, if you will give you the tools to be able to think strategically, think of the business as a whole, and grow the business. But these are the tools. And to deploy these tools effectively, in the end, you need to get the people who are the bedrock of your organization on board and provide inspirational leadership. And so the third block of things focuses on personal leadership, leading teams and organizations, and then business communications. So three distinct buckets of content. How do we deliver the content? Well, we do it in a very holistic and hands-on approach, using a very broad range of pedagogical tools, because each of us tends to learn in a different way. So for example, we have classical lectures, we have case studies from around the world, we have simulations, we have exercises, and then of course we have industry masterclasses. So pretty much all the different pedagogical tools that are out there will be utilized by us through the program. And the faculty of the program brings extensive experience, and then, you know, particularly with the master classes, you know, it'll be grounded in a real world context, and in particular the Indian business context. So that's the program, content and structure. And then beyond the program content and structure, there is some support for you. So for example, Hero Viad will provide career placement opportunities. They they've developed a platform for creating peer-to-peer learning through a variety of initiatives. And then you will also have post-program access to exclusive INSEAD content for a certain duration of time. So who are these experienced faculty? And I'll talk about the INSEAD faculty. So the INSEAD faculty will teach 6 sessions. So you'll see us on 6 Saturday afternoons. The first session and the order in which I'm going to speak about the faculty is in the order in which they will conduct the sessions. So Manuel Sosa, my colleague from Technology and Operations Management, will kick us off with talking about design thinking. And Manuel is the person who runs our design thinking and creativity for business program at INSEAD. So this is his area of specialty. And you'll notice that he's director of one of our centers, the director of the Heinrich and Esther Baumann Steiner Fund for Creativity and Business. So he's going to teach the content that he lives and breathes, if you will. And let me just also point out that Manuel is a Venezuelan, and it'll be interesting. It's an interesting point that I'll come back to in a little bit. Then there's myself. I'm the chair of the marketing area, and I've, for the last, God, how long have I been in academia? About 40 years now. I've focused on, customer centricity and branding. Those are the 2 big pillars of my research. And I have a book which explores how emerging market companies from India, China, Turkey, South Africa, etc., build branded businesses. So this is again something that I do as my main research interest. So I will deliver the branding session, which is the second session that you will have from INSEAD. The third session is delivered by my colleague Andrew Shipilov. Andrew is the chair of the strategy area and the John Loudon Chaired Professor of International Management. I've highlighted in yellow towards the bottom of the slide that he's the academic director of the INSEAD Blue Ocean Strategy Open Enrollment Program. So that means that this is something that Blue Ocean Strategy is something that is a particular focus for Andrew, and this is the content that he will be covering in the session with you. If I remember correctly, Andrew is from Romania. Then we have Xiaowei Rose Luo, who's the chair of the Entrepreneurship and Family Enterprise area. Rose also holds the Rudolph and Valeria Mag professorship. Rose is somebody who spent a lot of time working on topics associated with entrepreneurship. And she's done some interesting stuff. For example, in China, she spent a year there where she directed the PhD program at CKGSB, which is targeted at entrepreneurs. So she understands the entrepreneurial space and has worked extensively with entrepreneurs, and she'll be talking about entrepreneurial thinking. And then the next session will be delivered by Tom Manarelli. Tom is a senior affiliate professor of organization behavior. And this is an area that is his particular focus. And he will, as you can see, he's worked with an extraordinarily wide range of companies that are the who's who of global companies from around the world. And last but not least, we have Antoine Duvauchel. Antoine is Strategy, Innovation, and Leadership Faculty for Good at INSEAD. He is an alumni of INSEAD. As you can see, I've highlighted, he has an MBA from us. And he's interesting because he wears two hats. He's an entrepreneur and a professor. He's co-founded something called Life Case, and actually what he will teach will be the capstone session using the Life Case methodology, which is a simulation, to try and bring all the different elements of business that you've learned in the various modules together and see how they interact together as you apply them in this simulated context of a life case. So those are the 6 people that will be teaching you from INSEAD. Just a little bit about INSEAD. INSEAD is about as old as the IIMs. It's a couple of years older. So INSEAD graduated its first students in 1960. I think 1963 or 64 is when the IIM, Ahmedabad and Calcutta had their first graduates coming on the market. So they're about as old as IIM A and IIM C. And, we've, since then, we've played a pretty strong role in management education and being leaders, for example, in executive education. So this idea that you do company-specific programs is an idea invented at INSEAD, which is a very successful idea. And we have expanded around the world. And as you see, if you look towards the right of the slide, there are 2 places where there is the FT logo, the Financial Times logo. So in 26 and in 27, we were rated as the #1 business school in the world. And then again, in 2021, we were rated as the #1 business school in the world. Pretty much we've always, since I've been at INSEAD for the last 23 years, we have been in the top 10, and mostly in the top 5. So that way we have a very high standing in the world of business schools. We're also big players in the world of executive education. As I said earlier, we have had over 200,000 executives that we've taught since we started executive education in 1967. And we have 165 faculty members from all over the world. And, we now deliver online programs, and we have 40,000 plus people who've taken our online programs. So I mean, we've been a big player in the world of executive education. We have campuses in Fontainebleau, which is where the first campus was opened in 1957. Then we opened a campus in Singapore, which is where I'm speaking from, in 2000. Then we opened a third campus in Abu Dhabi in 2010. And most recently, we have opened a hub. We don't call it a campus because it's very small, for business innovation in San Francisco just before COVID hit. So we're just getting restarted, if you will, as COVID has now ebbed. So if you remember, I mentioned that the faculty were from all over the world. So you'll have faculty teaching you who are French, Romanian, Venezuelan, Indian, Chinese, etc., American. Those are the 6 nationalities that are going to teach you. Our 165 faculty members, full-time faculty members, come from 40 countries. And our research tends to be global. So we bring global content to the classroom. We work with some of the top companies in the world. So we have a global classroom, if you will, and then we have global standards. As you saw, we are ranked right at the top. And one of the things we pride ourselves with is that we build global leaders. Some of the companies that we work with are on this slide, but the ones highlighted in yellow are the ones that we work with in India. So you can see that there's some of the very big companies of India, like the ABG Group, ICICI Bank, Bharti Airtel, Hero Wire, Tata Consultancy Services, and noteworthy, the government of India, as we've been running a program for Indian Railways for about 15 years now. So a lot of knowledge about what's going on in India and so on and so forth. A few more words about our standing. So INSEAD has produced the most startups, if you will, successful startups in Europe, INSEAD alumni. From a research point of view, this is technical academic research. We are ranked #1 by UT Dallas, which computes a ranking. Our executive MBA has been ranked worldwide by the FT. I already noted that our MBA was ranked worldwide multiple years in the last 10 years by the Financial Times. And we can go on and on. From our faculty, there are 7 who have been nominated to the Thinkers 50, which is the largest number of faculty in the Thinkers 50 from any one school. So you have the opportunity to work with one of the top institutions in the world. Right. To wrap up, particularly because I think we are going to do this program through live virtual, I wanted to point out that we've received a bunch of awards for our live virtual offerings. So we have a program with Telenor, which has won a award. We've got a program with Accenture, again, which has won an award. And one of the things you'll notice is that the material that we bring to the classroom will be INSEAD material and not material from other schools. And so the content is, if you will, proprietary. So let me stop there and say thank you and hand the floor back to Hero Wired. I'm happy to take questions or take them later, as the case may be.
Thank you, Amitava, for your insightful session. I am definitely sure that will be very helpful for all the attendees for having the better understanding of the course and going ahead. Whatever questions if I had asked you guys to post the questions on the chat. If there are any, please post them there, and we'd like to take it ahead then. And now I'd like to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Shiva Kumar Bhavamala. Shiva has been a banker and an entrepreneur and now a distinguished teacher. He has worked with plethora of Indian and international banks and has been an instrumental part within their banking circles. More than that, he is an excellent human to interact with. So, without much delay, I'd like to welcome Shiva. Over to you, Shiva.
Thanks, Aditya. Firstly, my apologies. I'm not switching my camera on. I have severe connectivity issues here in Delhi because it's been raining for quite some time and it's affecting connectivity where I am. So my apologies about that. But I'm just going to keep it short because I think one of the major highlights of the program clearly is our partnership with INSEAD, and Amitava has spoken about it and covered the most important details to go over it. And I don't really need to say much about INSEAD because I think we all understand the standing and the reputation and the quality of learning that they bring to the classroom. I'll spend a few minutes on our part of the offering, Hero White's part of the offering, and there are a few points here that I would like to go over. Firstly, in terms of the faculty that we bring to the classroom, they all come from an industry background. So we bring pretty rich industry experience to the classroom, and these are not necessarily just experiences, but also a lot of passion that we managed to bring into the classroom. So that's and this is something that applies across all the programs that we offer, including the management program that we're talking about. So all our full-time faculty, all the part-time faculty that we have, they come from an industry background, and that complements what INSEAD brings into the classroom really well. So overall, the program is a pretty healthy and strong mix of both rigorous academic learning from some of the top academicians in the world from INSEAD and some of the best industry practitioners from various different industries in India. So that's one thing that is worth noting. And the second thing is in terms of the content that we bring to the classroom, one of the beacons that has guided us in putting the content together is the word applied. So when we put content together, we ask ourselves, is this something that the learner can learn on, say, a Saturday or Sunday, and on Monday can the learner take it to the classroom and apply it to their workplace? So which means that a lot of the content that we bring to the classroom is pretty relevant to actually furthering your your professional skills and your career. So that's the second thing that I would like to note. Um, as Amitava briefly touched, we also support your career endeavors. We support your career aspirations, and we have a pretty strong careers team that helps you with various aspects of career preparation, CV preparation, personal leadership, personal branding, and also advise on relevant opportunities that you could pursue. The last couple of things, as you might all know, the certification is a dual certification. It comes with it's a certificate issued by INSEAD and HeroWide upon successful completion of the program. And as I think Amitava did mention this, it's a 50-50 split between BIAD and INSEAD. So INSEAD brings in 24 hours of learning, and the remaining 24 hours is offered by BIAD. Those are the main points I wanted to I wanted to list. I don't want to take up any more time. I think it'll be. I think we can go over to any questions that you might have. So back to you, Aditya.
Thank you, Shiva, for your quick fire insightful session. Any questions from anyone? We are now open for questions, and you guys can type them in the chat, and we'll take them ahead. Okay, so Naveen has asked if there will be master classes on weekdays or not, and yeah. So, Shiva, will the master classes be happening on weekdays or on weekends? So more or less, we have most of our classes over the weekend. However, our learning consultant will definitely call you all and discuss everything in the details. Also, for further doubts, you can connect with our learning consultants to get more details. Thank you. I think more or less most of the questions are done. Amit, pertaining to your question that how many live classes, how much is self-learning, what is the length of program, how many cohorts students so far, how many of students have so far took this program. We'll be getting back to you one-on-one with one of our LCs who will connect. Or if Amitava, you would like to take this question about how many live classes are there, how much is self-learning, what is the length of program, that will be very helpful.
So I'll give you what my understanding is that there are 24 hours from each of INSEAD and Hero Wired. So a total of 48 live hours that are delivered on Saturdays from noon to 4 p.m. We'll do 6 4-hour sessions, and I described the content of those sessions to you in my little opening speech. And then Hero Wired will cover 6 additional topics. And so that's the live content, if you will. The current batch has, I think, 28 or 29 students. The batch that we're already teaching and I have taught. The second batch will begin in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. I can't remember exactly, but the second batch begins in October. And then we have a third batch that has already signed up that's scheduled to begin in January. So we're now looking at, I don't know whether some of you can be accommodated in the second or third batch, should you so desire. But certainly we're looking for people for a fourth batch. And so the first batch began at the beginning of June, second batch beginning of October, third batch January. So I would assume the fourth batch will kick off sometime in late March or early April is my best guess. But we haven't yet officially discussed any timings. Student numbers, currently it's about 30, but this could become bigger. The length of the program is 6 months. And we expect that you will do self-learning of 1 to 2 hours on a weekly basis. And there'll be 50 plus hours of exercises, masterclasses, etc., in addition to the 48 hours of live virtual delivery.
Surely, Amitava, I think. Thank you. Pertaining to the questions pertaining to the scholarship criteria and the course fees structure and all, I request you all to please connect with the learning consultants. They'll definitely help you out with the details for the scholarship criteria along with the course fees and other things. Thank you.
How is this program different? So I think I'm not aware of any business program that is being done in India where there's this much live virtual content, complemented by workshops and masterclasses to contextualize your learning to the local context. So, for example, we run a program which is 9 weeks, 3 of them virtual, but 6 of them are in face-to-face. But that program is targeted at people with about 15 to 20 years of work experience. So this is now, we're looking at this program targeting people with 3 to 5 years of work experience. And also the participants in the other program, for example, have already done their MBA, whereas here, most of the participants, at least from what I understand from talking to the first batch, they do not have MBAs. So very different audience. If you have a specific program, Amit, which you're thinking of when you say what is different, what is the USP, I think it's, then I can probably fine tune it a little bit more and respond to your question. But it's basically to people with 3 to 5 years of work experience who are trying to jump shift their careers or build their businesses and put them on a faster growth trajectory by understanding all the different levers that you can pull, and to sort of internalize them through these masterclasses and exercises. That other program is called INSEAD INSEAD Leadership Program for Senior Executives.
Thank you all. Before you guys leave, I'd like to just understand your interest in the program, and for the same, I'm launching one poll. Please do let us know if you're interested further in knowing about this program more or not. I guess the poll is live for everyone. I'll keep the questions live for more than 30 seconds. Well, we are good to go. Good. Okay. That brings us towards the end of the session. Okay, there's one question by Prasid. What is the difference of lead and this course?
Sorry, where is this question?
It's in the Q&A from Prasid. Basically, what is the difference of lead and this course?
I have no idea what lead is, so I can't answer that.
Yeah, absolutely. Prasid, if you can further expand your question. Thank you all. Thank you, Amitava, for attending the session and taking the lecture. Thank you all. Okay.